Hi, as part of the ReadALetter thing that's going on at the moment, I thought I'd join in with a letter from 1882 written by my then 19-year-old great-grandmother who was courting my great-grandfather. This is before they got married, and she would have been working as a barmaid in the Cross Keys in Handsworth, owned by her dad, just outside Handsworth. I chose this letter because it's full of local colour and about them planning their life together in the future, and be warned, it ends quite abruptly. So here we go. Handsworth, April the 17th, 1882. My own darling husband, I received your letter this morning, darling, with great pleasure. They always cheer me up. The fact of the birthday card being an inexpensive one does not make it any the less acceptable, love. It is not the price of the gift that makes it valuable. It is the spirit in which it is given, and for which I prize it, darling, and anything you give me, my husband. I wish you could have been at Joe Gill's party. You would have seen your old friends, as you could not manage to see them much at Easter, love. We shall have to manage better at Whitsuntide. We shall not have so much running about. I am quite agreeable not to go for an excursion at all, for it is expensive for you, and I know you want to save your money for me, don't you, love? I did not lose anything at cards. I left my purse down at the Wellington, so I had nothing. David Craven gave me a halfpenny, and I won 3p to it and left it on Gill's mantelpiece for the benefit of the children. I think Tom Hughes a very good player. I can only remember one bit of the consequences. It was Miss Gill and Blind George met in a pigsty. I can't remember the rest of it, but some of them were very good. The usual monthly came on this last night. I felt very sick this morning, but I am now getting over it nicely. I am glad, love, that we shall not have to get married in haste. It will be better to have a good start if we can. We must not have any more outdoor connection. It does not agree with you. I am glad you're all right now, darling. Our Emma has had a gathering in her face since Tuesday, so she has had to lay in bed nearly all the time. Do you think it is really necessary? I know they are nasty, painful things, but she does make everything worse by sitting around brooding over them. I don't know how the children would get on if they were not here, and she alone had to manage for them. It burst yesterday, and her first arrival downstairs today was 5 o'clock. I went to see Miss Mills yesterday. I did not get there until 5:30. Mother had gone upstairs to have a nap. Our Emma, of course, was there, and Father not very well. Kate and our John were out, so I thought I'd better stop and get the tea ready before I went. I should have stopped at home, but I had promised that I would go so many times before that I did not like to disappoint them again. I was longing for you, darling, as I went down. It was a nice afternoon, but rather cold. We have had such glorious walks in that direction, haven't we, love? I wish I could have spent Sunday with you, but it could not be so, darling. I will make the best of it. We shall spend some happy Sundays together when your wifey is with you. Mother has bought 2 such pretty gilt and white water jugs and a creative jug to match my set for me. We shall be quite set up in the crockery department, won't we? About taking apartments, darling, at first, I know you are a dear and thoughtful husband and would like to have everything ready for me and would like to spare me all the trouble and hard work. But I think it will be such a pleasure to get our home ready, love. I don't want it to be all ready for me. I want us to be together when we buy the furniture so that we can both use our tastes, and then we will know it will be all right. So, darling, if nothing better turns up, I think that will be the best plan, don't you? I am sorry, love, that they are showing a want of attention to your comfort at your lodgings. I wonder what is the reason. It is a queer idea to want you to pay the gas bill. I suppose the hours you keep are quite late. Might be too late for her. But I think it is hardly fair when you pay her your board. It is supposed to cover all that. I should certainly get fresh ones if you are not comfortable, darling. She's never been like that before, has she, love? I was sorry the Colliers did kick up a row on Saturday because I intended giving you a nice long one. I do not like to disappoint you, but can't help it. The row was not at our house, it was at next door. But they had gone out of hours too there. We have never had such a row in Handsworth before. They began to first wrestle in the house, so the landlord turned them out and they were having it out on the road. They were kicking and biting one another, so the policeman was sent for. He came running down to see what the matter was and asked them to go quietly away, but they would not. And then one of them got between the policeman's legs and sent him onto the ground and began punching him and hurt his hand. There were 3 of them on top of him, but he was not long on the ground, and when he got up they knew he had used his stick properly about them. And then when that wouldn't do, he got out his staff, but they didn't want any of that. He called on then 3 men to help take them to Woodhouse. Case will come on tomorrow. Your loving, true and faithful wife, Janie.